Press concerned over limitations on access to information as the world joined in celebrating Press Freedom Day. Months after career-threatening scandal, General Lamin Bojan recoils back with new political party. And as the population grows, majority of tenants raise concern over expensive nature of rents in the Gambia. These and more coming on Gambia 24. Stay with us. Good evening, viewers. You're watching Gambia 24 here on Africa TV with me, Sohna Tunkara, and now to our news in detail. The Gambia Press Union has on Monday held a press conference at the Union Secretariat to mark the World Press Freedom Day 2021. As a theme adopted by UNESCO for this year's event is information as a public good, GPU, however, chose a local team dubbed Safety of Journalists an imperative for credibility of elections. World Press Freedom Day is observed to raise awareness of importance of freedom and the press and remind governments of their duty to respect and uphold the right of freedom of expression. More details of that in this report.
Every 3rd May is celebrated as World Press Freedom Day, a day set aside to evaluate press freedom around the world. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the Windhole Declaration, which was developed by African journalists pressing for a free and independent African press. The day is celebrated worldwide to defend the media from attacks on their independence and to pay tribute to journalists who lost their lives in the exercise of their profession. The Gambia Press Union, the umbrella body for all journalists in the country, joins the world in commemorating the day. The president of the union, Lamin Bojan Jr., outlined the expansion of the media freedom and freedom of expression since the downfall of dictatorship.
This year's World Press Freedom Day commemoration coincided with the release of the World Press Freedom Index by Reporters Without Borders or Reporters Sans Frontières. The Gambia, as some of you might know, is ranked 85th out of 180 countries, indicating a modest progress of 2 points from the 87th position last year. Indeed, the space for media freedom and freedom of expression has expanded since the downfall of dictatorship and since the ascendancy to power of President Adama Barrow. Also, some things to celebrate and to be proud of. There are more media houses in the country now than ever before, and this means more people have access to the media to express their views and opinions. This diversity and plurality of opinions in the media counts in favor of the country.
With the count in favor of the country by diversity and plurality of opinions in the media, Mr. Bojan, however, added that the media landscape in the country is still at a problematic juncture.
However, beneath the ranking lies facts that reveal that the media situation in the country is only better than the dark days of the dictatorship. So in a nutshell, we are not out of the woods yet. With a score of 30.76 points in the RSF measurement or ranking, the media landscape in the Gambia is still problematic. So improvement in the ranking does not necessarily mean that we are out of the woods and the media environment in the country is ideal. One of the reasons the Gambia is still stuck in this situation is because of the unfriendly environment and particularly legislations against the media. These are obnoxious and media repressive laws. Also, the GPU is working with partners to roll out safety training programs for journalists and dialogues with politicians and security personnel. Series of trainings have been outlined ahead of the election.
Chadna Jallo, a veteran journalist, highlighted the importance of being informed as a journalist before informing people.
I'm also glad that as journalists, We are perpetual students. We are perpetual students. We are always interested in what's going on around us. From the cradle to the grave, they say, man learns. So we are a learning institution. But the journalist is one step ahead. Ours is to empower the people by informing and educating the people. And to inform and educate the people, we ourselves must be well informed and well educated.
According to the union, records have shown that more than 15 incidents of physical assaults on journalists and media professionals occurred in which all attacks were perpetrated either by the police or politicians, including supporters of the president. The GPU's local theme, safety of journalists is imperative for credibility of elections, is premised on an analysis of the current realities and trends which indicates that hostilities faced by journalists will likely worsen during the 2021 presidential elections. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Amindao.
From the reports by Amindao and the Gambia Press Union joining the rest of the world to commemorate Press Freedom Day, Patrick Gomez, a former first-class magistrate and now senior counsel of the Attorney General's office, has told the Truth Commission the circumstances surrounding a shooting case that took place sometime in March 2015. According to the witness, the state ordered him to pass a sentence on the case of which he wanted otherwise. Patrick added that they already announced adjournment for judgment in that case when he received an order to make immediate sentences.
The hearings of learned men and women in the country's judicial system and how it was tampered with by the then German government continues at the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission TRRC. Patrick Gomez, senior counsel to the AG's office, narrated a particular case involving shooting by military men on a taxi that refused to stop at a checkpoint. The incident, he says, resulted in the killing of one woman by a bullet into the back of her head and through one of her eyes.
This case involved a shooting incident that happened the previous day. So the facts of the case were not contagious. They were not disputed by either party, both the defense and the prosecution. That the incident was that there was a taxi driver who had two passengers at the time in his car, a male and a female. And then he drove past a checkpoint, a military checkpoint. And he failed to stop. And so when they had warned him to stop, by firing warning shots with their AK-47, he still wouldn't stop. And so they chased the taxi driver, and then they started shooting at the vehicle.
Counsel Gomez adds that the driver was then arrested and charged with rash and negligent act for causing death, with other 3 minor offenses including unlawful driving. Counsel Patrick says after the driver was arraigned, he pleaded guilty when the case was called.
When the case was called, the accused was called to take his plea, and I recall he pleaded guilty to 2 of the counts, but they were mainly offenses in relation to the motor traffic offense. These were minor offenses. And so when that was done, and I decided to adjourn the matter so as to decide what would be the most appropriate sentence. That was because of the fact that at the time we were not very much familiar with those minor offenses, which were the motor traffic offenses.
The legal practitioner revealed that a directive came through the prosecution from the sentences to be done on the same day of hearing.
So when I indicated to the parties, that is the IGP representative and the defense counsel representing the accused person, that the matter will be adjourned to the following day for sentencing. The prosecutor at the time rose and made an application that they need to see me in chambers.
ne dañ ma bëgg a gis ci suma office.
before I adjourn the matter.
Bala ma toxal nag àtte boobu.
And I agreed to that.
Ma ànd ci loola.
I stood down the matter.
Ci laa taxawalagum mbir mi.
And I went in chambers.
Ma dal di dugg suma office.
And I invited the prosecutor.
Ci laa oo nag ki nga xam ne mooy prosecutor bi.
And also called the defense counsel.
Ak tamit lawyer bi nga xam ne ni moo taxawaloon kiñ tuumal.
So that I will hear what they have to say.
Pour nag ma déglu ñoom itamit lan lañ war a wax.
And so the prosecutor informed me.
Ci la ma prosecutor bi di police bi wax yëgal ma ne.
That he had received a direction that I have to pass a sentencing on the same day.
Counsel Patrick says he did not agree to the directive that wanted him to make a final sentencing on the case despite him wanting for an adjournment in order to look into the case proper. Despite knowing the consequences of defying orders from the Jammeh government, he says he found it strange as to why the executive was interested in this case. Other witnesses who appeared also explained how Jammeh interfered in cases before the courts. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Mariama Cham.
Moving on, rentals in the Gambia have been a major challenge for both civil servants and ordinary citizens, as rental fees continue to surge, especially in the greater Banjul areas. As our reporter Ndaisise went out and about, most of the tenants said they are facing a lot of challenges because of the expensive nature of rentals. Many of them find it difficult to offer the amount charged by their landlords.
Living in a standard and well-furnished apartment is a dream that anyone would like to fulfill after working for so many years. However, in the Gambia, the majority of the citizens who are depending on their monthly salaries are without a compound of their own, as half of their salaries are being spent on rents. Jibril Jilan is one of them who spends over $6,000 on rent. Jibril said this is a very big challenge to him and all the citizens in the Gambia, because most of them earn less than $4,000 per month. Jibril added that the reason why many people are unable to acquire and build their own compound after so many years is because of the high amount they spend on rents. He urged landlords to reduce the charges they levy on tenants.
Dafa overmate torop, you know. So they am ñoo xamne tam dinañ mëna dugga ci dëkk bi example comme yeen noné na def ni, you know.
We are all facing the difficulty of rent because landlords now are taking things for granted. Some of them who built their compound within 3 years are charging people to pay 2 rooms and parlor for $5,000 each, which is not fair. And also, this agent stuff is also another reason why rents are expensive. And here in the Gambia, we all know that to earn $5,000 per month is very difficult because you have a family, you need to give lunch to children when going to school, and also you need to provide feeding for the family. This is very difficult on us.
Modi Jallo said they don't only stop at paying rents every month, but also whatever problem tenants face in the compound, they manage to repair it themselves.
Number one mooy ndox. Secondly, loo xam ne main problem mooy.
I'm urging landlords to reduce the cost of rent. They should know that we are living under the mercy of Allah. There will come a time when we will all die and leave all these materials behind. We should consider all this in life. Yes, it is true that you own your property and you know how to use it. But you should believe that one day or the other, you have to leave this world. And the moment you leave, you have nothing here. This is the only thing I can say, because it is their property, so it is left to them to fear Allah.
As the majority pointed out landlords for being responsible over the expensive nature of rents in the Gambia, some landlords beg to differ. John Considibe, a landlord, said the situation is quite different in her side, as she charged her tenants to pay $3,000 for 2 or 3 rooms and a parlor.
I charged my tenants over 2 rooms and a parlor, and has everything inside including bathroom, store, tap and kitchen for $3,000. This is how I have been charging my tenants for so many years now. And whatever problem my tenants face in their houses, I use my own money to repair it. They only inform me and then I take all the responsibility.
Access to standard and affordable houses in the Gambia has been a concern for many, as rental fees continue to surge, especially in the greater Banjul areas. Half of the civil servants who have been working in government for over 10 years still cannot afford a compound of their own. And this to many is as a result of high prices of rentals charged by many, which some cannot afford, as most of the civil servants in the Gambia earn estimately less than $10,000 for their monthly salaries. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Desise.
We will now go with a short commercial break and the news continues. Stay tuned.
The pride we take in our brand, the work we put in to constantly change the landscape and elevate real estate in the Gambia, it's compared to none. From inception, our goal was to add value to the beautiful Gambian landscape. That's why we are proud innovators of community estates. Kololi Sands is an exceptional piece of work, tailored for ultimate convenience and luxury, to bring you an element of finesse that is rare but unique in its own. This is also our pride and joy, and we welcome you to the exquisite beauty right here in Kololi and right here on the waterfront. Kololi Sands, feel the ocean breeze at your doorstep.
dafa ne ci man coono di dem dëkk ba dëkka rawatina ba foofa ca Sénégal pour jëndi daal jeex na fii ci biir réew mi ak Stroll Company sa jaaxle jeex na waaw dineen defar bépp xeeti daal te itam dinay dégee rafet ci ay njëkk yu yomba compagnie bi lee di Stroll dineen la defaral daal aso bi fekkee ne da nga nekk ci political party bugga nga nuroo leeg say waay ngay dem foofa ca Stroll Company yi daal di la defaral daal bu dëgër baax te rafet moo xam itam da nga am xew bugga sa yére nuroog sa daal demal seeti ñii di Stroll Company te emun ci loolu dinañ la defaral sa daala si saasi boo demee ñi nata la nga toog wax leen li nga bëgg ñi defaral la ko te itam dinañ defar daala si wholesale wala retail seeti leen foofa sa suncu alaaji te nag lu ci gën a neex mooy doomi Gambian moo ko moom teg ci di dimbale ay ndaw pour ñi am fu ñuy xëyee seeti leen foofa ca suncu alaaji ca Kunku Jang Johnson boo demee rek di nga gis seen table nga daal di leen dem seeti sa xol nee nga am sa daale boo yàgg mi bét mun ngaa nemmeeku seen website bi si www.strollshops.com wala nga oo ñu si 7473692 wala 7150195 ak Stroll Company sa jaaxle jeex na ci dambeeg dëkk bi ci dàlla kese.
Welcome back. If you're just watching, this is Gambia 24, and now to the rest of our story. The former flag bearer of Gambia Action Party has on Monday registered a new political party after regaining strength from a scandal that threatened his political career. The move comes 10 months after a nude video portraying his image went viral on social media. Bojan's party becomes the 19th political party registered in the Gambia. Our reporter Binta Jala has the rest of that story.
After months of struggling to clear his image on social media, Mr. Lamin Bojan bounces back with a new political party called Alliance for National Reorientation and Development. The party is formally registered with the Independent Electoral Commission on Monday, 3rd May 2021. The party's color is orange and its symbol is a bundle of harvested rice with a motto of justice, freedom and development. Speaking to journalists after the official registration, Mr. Bojan said life is all about taking risk and the past can't end his career.
If you do not take risk in life, it means you do not exist. Yes, pundits would have said that my political career would have come to a stop. But I guess, like it is said in our local languages, in the military it is often said that withdrawal is another phase of life. Phase of war. That was just hibernation. We went into hibernation just to make sure that we prepare ourselves better. We thought there were better, times, there were better ways to do stuff, and we have learned our lesson. Some will say that we've learned our lesson in a bitter way. Yes, we've learned our lessons in a bitter way, but this time around, I think we are better educated with the experience to be able to, huddle through now better.
Bojan advised Gambians to be aware of the leaders they will choose in the future.
The Gambian people they must watch and be very, very careful who comes to them to talk to them about politics in this country. I think we are tired of the politics of deception. I think we are tired of politics of lying. I think we are tired of that type of politics of, expressing tribal sentiments. What we want Gambian people to understand is that let them take note of ANRD. Let them take note of ANRD. We are out to solve their problems. We are out to solve their problems. And we are telling Gambians that anybody who comes to you, watch the person. Let them not be those type of politicians who are out there to enrich themselves.
General Bojan said the current president knows nothing of what he is doing as he lacks the experience.
Like what we have today, the current president in this country is clueless because he has never had any experience in this country. He has no work experience. He has no job experience. Sometimes smart people will learn on the job. But for him, he has no job experience. He is not learning on the job. And that is why Gambia is sinking every day.
Gambians are expected to go back to the polls in December 2021. Bojan's party becomes the 19th political party registered in the Gambia ahead of the much anticipated presidential election. In 2016, only 9 political parties were registered before the coalition was formed, excluding other independent candidates. For iAfrica News, Binta Jallo.
With a report on Lamin Bojan returning back to the political arena ends tonight's Gambia 24. You can stay tuned for more of our interesting programs here on iAfrica TV. I am Sohna Tunkara. Thanks for watching. Have a nice evening.